All right. If you want to call me biased, call me biased. I don't give a fuck. I'll say this right now. I thought Bryant Jennings won by uh, 2 points or more. I thought he took over the fight, uh, definitely in the second half, definitely in the championship rounds, but mainly in the second half of the fight. I thought the first couple of rounds were, yeah, Mike Perez doing well, using his head movement, sort of a herky-jerky style, but kind of looked a bit like Yuri Gamboa in a way, throwing one punch at a time, not really throwing a lot of combinations, but being persistent and expending a lot of energy in the early rounds, trying to land his punches. And I saw Brian Jennings uh, really in the early rounds just looking to get a read on him, looking to figure Perez out. And I think he did that from about the third round. We saw him start to land clean shots. And the third round was close. I thought, uh, clean punches are being very fucking underrated in judging right now. And in terms of clean, effective punching, I saw uh, Brian Jennings overwhelm Mike Perez and have a clear, decisive advantage. Uh, in my opinion, Brian Jennings could have edged out the third round. Okay, say you don't give him the third round. I think he won um, this from the sixth and onward. And to me, that's clear as night and day. And if you give him the third round, it's even a more decisive victory for Mike Perez, and that's what it is. Harold Letterman gave him the fifth and the sixth round, um, and what was it? No, Harold Letterman after sixth round, Harold Letterman had it 4-2. So I believe he ended up giving the fourth and the fifth round to Mike Perez, and Mike Perez kind of made a semi comeback in the sixth round uh, in terms of the unofficial scoring. But I personally thought the third round could have been Mike Perez's. Sorry, it could have been Brian Jennings, which would have made it a 3-3 after six. And then Brian Jennings takes over the fight. To me, it's clear clean, effective punching and continuous flagrant fouling by Mike Perez, constantly grabbing one of Brian Jennings' arms, constantly grabbing him by the shoulders, tying him up on the inside. And Jennings' corner gave him heck for that because he could have easily been stepping back. But this guy's a motherfucking tree hugger. Like he's just going after. He's leading in with a punch and then he's grabbing fucking Carlos Molina type heavyweight shit. No, he was on some John Ruiz shit. Fucking Mike Perez constantly holding uh Brian Jennings throughout the second half of the fight. He was clearly tired, fighting with his hands down. This should have been a much more impressive performance by Brian Jennings. I think uh all the characteristics were there to completely outclass uh, Mike Perez, but it was a closer fight. The judges had it real close, and let's be honest, the point deduction in the 12th round, which is what occurred after so much flagrant fouling. The ref had enough. He warned him in the corner, and after a punch during the break, and literally in the break, he sort of rams in there with his head and just right at Jennings, who has his hands up. Um, if he jumped a little bit, we call it a Victor Ortiz moment. He didn't jump, but it was to me it was as flagrant a foul as you're gonna get. And was Mike Perez fighting dirty? Yes, yes he was, and I think that has something to do with it. And I can't be mad at that point deduction. It could be a controversial stance. I know 12th round point deductions are not taken with a lot of, it doesn't sit well or go down easy, especially. I remember the last one was Amir Khan against Lamont Peterson. That was a 12th round point deduction where Khan was, again, he was flagrantly foul in the fight too. He was constantly pushing back Lamont Peterson. He did it in the 12th round and he got a point deduction. What can you do? Mike Perez, same situation. Stop fouling the dude and nothing would happen. But Mike Perez was clearly tired. He had to keep grabbing uh, Bryant Jennings, and there you go. He got a point deducted, and that point deduction lost him the fight. So he stays in the mix in the heavyweight division. Both guys stay in the mix. It's evident that both guys probably are not ready for Vladimir Klitschko just yet. They need a bit more seasoning, and they got to work on that craft. So let me know what you guys think. Not impressive, but a solid performance by Brian Jennings getting the victory in a Bernard Hopkins like matter. Let me know what you guys think. It is what it is.